When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
This broadcast on letsgoicctv.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
Your starting lineups for the 2018 ICC Indians. At center field, number 7, Corey Child. First base, number 15, Meg Sullivan. Catching behind the plate, number 11, Sam Conley. At right field, number 18, Mackenzie Piper. The DP, number 30, Macy Cox. At shortstop, number 21, Bailey Springfield. And at left field, number 10, Hannah Williams. Pitching in the circle today for the Lady Indians, number 3, Olivia Burns. And at second base, number 9, Madison Carnes. At third base, number 2, JoJo Vasquez. The head coach for ICC is Andy Kirk. He is assisted by Cammie Hall and Carrie Simmons. And now your starting lineup for Jones. At center field, number 23, Kelsha Lofton. At shortstop, number 14, Taylor Murray. At third base, number 16, Emily Robinson. And at second base, number 12, Callie Venable. The DP, number 20, Hallie Donald. At third base, number 24, McKenna Sykes. Catching behind the plate for Jones, number 30, Faith Denton. Right fielder, number 18, Gracie McCleskey. Left field, number 1, Simone McKinney. Your flex player, number 29, Madison Bird. Head coach is Chris Robinson, associate head coach Bob Harrington, assistant coach Katie Durham. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallant lay streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Lady Bob.
Tailgate, brisket,
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings.
burgers,
7-layer dip.
Hummus.
what?
You need a hot grill.
And an ice cold Coke.
It's got to be cold.
It's Tailgate 101.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Pawn, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for taking time out of your afternoon to join us here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. We do want to say a special hello to those watching in support of Jones County. And as always, hello to the ICC family and Roll Tribe, as ICC has a tall task ahead of them today, Jeremy, as they've got to win 2 against the number 4 team in the country, a very good number 4 team in the country, Jones County, in order to win the state championship. As the Renaissance Bank opening pitch coming your way at 12:59. Renaissance Bank, understanding you, RenaissanceBank.com. That pitch was for a strike to Corey Childs. That pitch up high for a ball. I'm Adam Gore, joined by Jeremy Kennedy, who has joined me throughout the tournament. Jeremy, you've seen both these teams. What are your keys to victory today?
Well, certainly, first of all, you've got to be good in the circle, and we've seen Jones do that with 2 really good starts from Carly Perk. They're not going with her in game 1 today.
And this is going to be a fly ball. The fielder is going to step underneath it to retire Corey Childs for the first out of the contest.
So you've got to certainly be good in the circle. You've got to be good defensively. And then we talk about those timely 2-out hitting sequences and circumstances, and both of those teams have to do that. Obviously, for ICC, they're going to have to be able to get to Madisonburg early. We're going to talk about her numbers in just a second. It's an ICC team that last night, I think, maybe came out of their shell offensively just a little bit. Helps not to face Carly Perk and the way she pitched yesterday afternoon. But I think certainly for both teams, this is, the 4th time they've played this year. And so there aren't a whole lot of secrets between these two teams at this point.
So that first pitch for a ball to Meg Sullivan. swings on this one, fouls it off the pole, and will even up the count now at 1-1.
Madisonburg on the year 14-1, 85 innings pitched. She's got 8 complete games, 77 hits, 30 runs, 24 earned, 21 walks, 41 strikeouts. She's given up 5 home runs on the year and has an ERA of 1.98.
Ground ball right back to the pitcher. Easy scoop and throw over to put out Meg Sullivan. 1-3 on the putout. 2 away now.
One of the things for ICC that it's going to be also big too for Jones County is, can you get the leadoff hitter on base? Corey Childs is such a difference maker for this ICC group. She's got to be on base today so she can get the running game going. And for Jones, same thing. Kelsha Lofton's got to get on base. If those two get on base a lot today, it's going to be really tough for the pitchers in the circle.
That pitch across for a strike. This is Samantha Conley, the catcher, at the plate here, as the umpire is going to come out, and I don't know if that was a warning or on an illegal pitch or what. Both of them stepped out that time, and the umpire on the third base side came up to tell something to the pitcher. So actually the count is 1-0 after that illegal pitch. So 1-0 is the count on an illegal pitch. Didn't really see anything there, Jeremy. As that pitch missing low and outside, of course, I really wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I didn't either. I thought perhaps maybe they were talking about, you obviously sometimes you go back here and you're trying to touch the circle, and you got kind of in baseball terms, you got the rosin bag right there, and sometimes pitchers play with that maybe a little bit too much.
That pitch across for a strike. 2-1 now goes the count.
You see that called sometimes, but
it's the first time we've seen it called in the entire tournament.
Certainly for the entire weekend. A little bit awkward, but Berg able to come back and get a strike in there.
So 2-1 is the count here to Conley. That pitch missing for a ball.
Samantha hitting .341 on the year. We'll give you a lot of these hitting stats and pitching stats, and that's what we talked about in the first matchup yesterday. There's such a contrast in styles, in some ways, but in the other ways, these two teams mirror each other with the way they pitch well and the way they hit well.
3-1 is the count. Pitch coming. Ground ball. Third baseman Gloves throws over. Is in plenty of time. 3 up, 3 down go the Indians in the inning there, and that's what you need if you're Jones. A quick start, easy inning.
Yeah, you're obviously going to too have to understand if you're ICC that, look, this is going to be, if you're going to be successful, it's going to be a long day, so you got to be patient at the plate. You got to take some pitches. Your approach is going to be different. We keep talking about what the approach should be and whether you're going to see a lot of outside pitches away, particularly the righties, and you eliminate maybe the inner third. I think Berg's proven she's willing to go both sides of the plate. Carly Pert, because of that high velocity, tends to maybe pitch away from the righties and into the lefties. And you flip the script, and we saw Olivia Burns have a really successful day yesterday pitching inside to these Jones hitters, maybe not as much on the outside corner. I'm curious to see how the adjustments made. We mentioned the scouting report for these two teams is out there. They know each other very, very well, so there's not going to be really any secrets. But the key from an offensive standpoint is to get those leadoff hitters on base and get to your running game. Both teams like to do that a lot, and you put as much pressure on these pitchers as possible.
Let's take a look at today's Coca-Cola starting lineups, and let's start with Jones. They come in with a record of 45-3. They do have that winner's advantage here in the championship tournament, where they'll have to lose 2 in order to not win the state championship. Lofton will be leading things off. She'll be playing in center field. Batting second will be the shortstop Murray. Batting third will be the third baseman Robinson. Batting fourth will be Venable. She'll be playing second base. Batting fifth will be the DP Donald. Batting sixth will be the first baseman Sykes. Batting seventh will be Denton. She'll be catching today. McCleskey will be batting eighth. She'll be out in right field. And McKinney will be batting in that 9 spot, playing left field. And the pitcher, say it was Berg?
Madison Berg.
Madison Berg will be the flex. For ICC, it was Corey Childs. She'll be out in center field. The offensive player will be Meg Sullivan. Catching will be Samantha Conley. Batting fourth will be Mackenzie Piper. First baseman Macy Cox will be batting fifth. Bailey Springfield will be at shortstop. She'll be batting sixth. Hannah Williams will be at left field, batting seventh. Olivia Burns will be inside the circle and batting eighth. And then batting ninth will be second baseman Madison Carnes. The flex will be Joanna Vasquez, as the bunt attempt is going to be pulled back, taken for a ball.
Kelsha Lofton hitting .385 on the year, a couple home runs, 26 RBIs. When we talk about her getting on base, she is 56 for 57 in steals this year. Jones 144 for 154.
This pitch fouled back and actually off the pole. That's the second time that pole's been hit in this inning. They always say when you come to the ballpark, you're going to see something you've never seen before. Well, guess what? That was
You just saw it. You just saw it there. Jones hits 355 as a team. They can really, really hammer it. ICC hits 317. So big difference to me. Offensively, Jones just maybe a little bit more dynamic.
Yeah.
Offensively, just hits maybe a tad bit better. But you got Olivia Burns in the circle, and we give you some of the numbers on Olivia. She's had a terrific year, 19-3 this year. She's got 1 complete game, 130 innings pitched, 88 hits, 34 runs, 28 earned, 56 walks, 104 strikeouts, 1.51 ERA.
She'll have to bring her A game today as this pitch has popped up a mile high. This one's going to get out of play, and we'll stay at 1-2.
Biggest difference between these two teams offensively is in the power. ICC's got 10 home runs on the year. They've given up 10 home runs on the year. Jones has also given up 10 home runs on the year, but they've hit 47.
Yeah.
That's just a little bit more of the dynamic nature of that Jones offense.
And that's typically been the calling card for an ICC team.
Right.
They manufacture runs. Jones, they've had some heavy hitters over the years. This pitch fouled back, and we'll stay at 1-2. We do want to say a special hello to everyone tuning in support of Jones. We also want to send our well wishes to Sean Wansley and his family. Sean not able to make the trip. We're going to take care of you, Sean, up here this afternoon. He's got some family issues there. We do offer our thoughts and prayers from Fulton. So the count is 1-2 here to Lofton, the center fielder, the leadoff batter for Jones. That pitch, good-looking pitch, missing low.
And if you're Lofton, you're doing exactly what you want to do. You've now got the count even at 2-2. You fouled off some pitches. You just want to frustrate Olivia Burns as much as you can. Be that leadoff hitter that sees a lot of pitches for your teammates behind you. She's done a good job of that up to this point.
2-2 pitch coming. That one outside for a ball. Count goes full.
Now you're Burns. You really don't want to begin the game with a leadoff walk. You feel like you got to come with something, and that's what that 385 average comes into play for Lofton. And then, as we talked about, she gets on base. She's really, really tough to keep out of the home plate.
3-2 pitch, foul back, and man, this has been a battle at the plate so far.
No doubt it has. And you look at the shortstop position in Bailey Springfield, and we keep touching on these shortstops and where they're playing, and you can see Bailey moving a little bit more towards that 6 hole right there. Not wanting to let Lofton go that way, but gives you a lot of room just slightly left of that second base bag up the middle.
3-2 pitch. This one popped up. Trouble. But there's Corey Giles showing off that speed out there in center field.
And that's what having a speedy center fielder can do. Somebody that can control the outfield, go and run down balls like that. She came in, made it easy. I didn't think she got a great jump off the bat. I thought perhaps she thought maybe that it would carry just a bit more than it did, but made up for it with a lot of great speed. That's a really crucial out for Olivia Burns and the Indians.
Now up is going to be the shortstop, Murray, for Jones with nobody on and 1 out. That pitch missing low for a ball.
Taylor Murray, team leader, 10 home runs, team leader, 59 RBIs. She hits 333 on the year, 33 walks to 14 strikeouts. It's a team that really handles the bat exceptionally well. It's going to be tough for Olivia to be able to pound the zone and get some strikeouts, but certainly going to have to do a lot of that, and that's what we talked about. She's done a better job, I think, of pitching inside and shown a little more willingness to pitch inside of the righties. And we haven't seen really from anybody else in the tournament, and she's had much more success doing that than when she tries to go away.
That pitch paints the inside corner. 1-1 now is the count with 1 out. Murray at the plate for Jones. Scoreless in the bottom of the first. That pitch just a bit too far inside. And now the count goes 2-1. Hey, real quick shout out to Caitlin Rose, former ICC softball player, watching in on the broadcast, hoping to cheer the Indians to a couple of victories this afternoon on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the red channel. 2-1 now is the count. This one blistered, and a nice play out there in left field. Well, I'll tell you what, ICC's got 2 pretty nice plays to start the contest.
They do, and if you're Taylor Murray, there's nothing more you can do with this. It's an off-speed pitch. She waits on it and absolutely hammered it into left field. But sometimes it happens in softball. You hit it on the screws, but right at somebody. And Hannah Williams did a good job to just wait on it and make the catch. And Olivia Burns now pitch away from getting out of this and putting up a 0 just like her counterpart in the top of the inning.
2 outs now, and this is going to be the third baseman, Robinson, coming to the plate. Nobody on. That pitch, outside corner for a strike. And Jeremy, we've documented it throughout the entire tournament. That outside corner just hasn't been too consistently called for any team.
It hasn't, and that's going to be a bit of a factor, how the strike zone expands or how it shrinks at certain points in this ball game.
Change up, missing outside. Conley held on that one a little extra long. try to get the strike call there.
Emily Robinson hitting .430 on the year, leads the team in batting average. 8 home runs, 57 runs batted in.
So 1-1 is the count with 2 outs and nobody on here for Jones. This pitch fouled straight back out of play. 1-2 now goes the count. I don't know if it's showing up on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, but there's a lot of pollen dancing through the air, almost to the point it kind of looks like it's snowing.
And it's definitely not.
No.
It is about 84 degrees out there. And if we get a second game, it'll cool off a little bit. Be just about like what we saw yesterday.
That pitch missing high and outside, even with the count now at 2-2 here to Robinson.
And the one thing about being able to, obviously, you have to be able to mix your pitches so the batters can't get comfortable. And so if Burns keeps coming inside, you have to keep those hitters honest. Everybody else is trying to go away, and you can see Robinson scooting up towards the plate.
This one, a deep fly ball, left field, going back and to the wall, gone. She just waited on that one and blistered it. A big-time home run there for Jones to take a 1-0 lead.
Well, we talked about it. This team just has a little bit more power than ICC and a lot of teams this year. That is the 48th home run this year for the Jones County Bobcats. That's the 9th of the season for Emily Robinson, and that's a pitch that was supposed to be on the inner half of the plate. Burns missed her spot, ended up being right down the middle, and Emily Robinson did miss it. And off the bat, I think you and I both thought this one was gone. It was going to have to take something miraculous to keep it in the ballpark. And just when you think if you're Olivia Burns and ICC, you're going to maybe get out of this, nobody across, nobody on base, put up a 0. They get a big, not just a big 2-out hit we talked about, 2-out home run.
Yeah, and that's one thing now. If you're Olivia, you just shake it off and come back and battle here, find that 3rd out. Because listen, somebody's got to score a run or 2 to win this ball game.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to win this 1-0 if you're either team, because while both pitchers are really good and both pitching staffs are really good, both teams can hit. And Callie Venable hitting .386. She's got 4 home runs, 36 runs batted in, and she's somebody that can get a hold of 1, too. But you're right, if you're Olivia, you can't dwell on that. You got to come back and stay aggressive in that strike zone, throw strikes, and get out of this, but she's now falling behind 3-0.
Yeah, it's one of those, I think, she's kind of a little rattled after giving up that home run, doing a good job this time, kind of walking back a few extra steps and collecting herself here. 3-0 is the count.
3-0.
So 3-0 is the count with 2 outs. And there's the strike right down the middle. Good job by Burns coming back and just knowing she was taking that time, so she filled up the zone.
Yeah, Venable, 10 walks this year and her now 127 at bats. So obviously tells you she's not willing to take a lot of pitches.
This pitch, fly ball is going to get out of play and into the bullpen as Mackenzie Piper giving chase over there in right field, and pretty hard landing into the fence over there, but bounces back literally off the fence as it sprung her back into play.
And you watch Jones play, they just don't swing and miss a lot. And that's the thing, is that if you could just put the ball in play, no matter if it's a lazy fly ball, a ground ball, whatever, you just put the ball in play, you always give yourself at least a bit of a chance. And also, pitchers know that. They look at the scouting report, they look at the numbers, they know you don't strike out a lot, already frustrates them a little bit.
This pitch popped up high, pop up in the infield, and that's going to be squeezed by Madison Carnes to end the inning, but the damage done on the swing of the bat by Robinson gives Jones a 1-0 lead after 1 complete. We're going to take a break and come back with a second inning right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
When I was looking for a college back in the day, I'm from Amory, Mississippi, just 30 minutes down the road, and I'm a homebody, and I had to commute, and I said, I need to go to a college that's not too far from home. And I heard of ICC. And once I stepped on campus, I knew this is the junior college I need to be at. I didn't think of another college. I said, this is it. When I stepped on campus, the atmosphere, it just was drawn to me. And I felt like this is where I belong. I belong here at Itawamba Community College. Because at that moment, I knew this is the best junior college on the planet. This is where I need to be. This is where I was planted. And that's why I am what I am today, because of Itawamba Community College.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set to move to the top of the second inning. ICC did not win the coin toss, so they are the visitors on the scoreboard here for the first of 2 possible games this afternoon. If they win this game, then they'll be the home team for the second game. Right now, 1-0 is your score. Due up for the Indians is going to be the 4-5-6 batters: Mackenzie Piper, Macy Cox, and Bailey Springfield. Before we get going with Macy in the lineup, she's got family watching out in Virginia. Benny Ping and family checking in. Do want to give a shout out all the way out there in Virginia for tuning in here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy bringing us action, and Jeremy just ran into a home run off the bat of Robinson. A little no-doubter out there in left field, and that's the difference in the game right now.
It is. It's a 2-strike pitch that was just trying to come buster in, but missed her spot. Ended up being right down the middle, and you can't do that against a lot of teams in this league, but particularly against Jones and Emily Robinson. And she just absolutely turned on it, got the barrel, hit it deep into left field, and now if you're ICC, you got to come out and answer. Got to put some quality at-bats together, make Madisonburg work in that circle.
That first pitch missing for a ball. Piper's going to pop this one up. Center fielder's going to have to hurry and makes the play. What an outstanding play.
Well, we saw Corey Childs do that same thing, in fact, robbing Lofton a hit, the center fielder for Jones, and then we see her come and do the same thing, and you just can't put a price tag on having center fielders who can run balls down like that. Off the bat, my first thought was, that's going to drop for a base hit. And then I saw Lofton, and I thought, you know what?
Yeah.
This is only going to drop in one place, and that's her glove.
Yeah,
Terrific play.
You've got 2 of the league's, if not the country's best center fielders in this contest today. That pitch missing outside for a ball. Now, both these teams have already punched their ticket to next week's region tournament to be here at ICC, playing for seeding and, of course, that state championship this afternoon here in Fulton. They'll be joined by East Central and LSU Eunice, the number 2 team in the country. So you're going to have 4 of the top 10 teams in the country in this tournament. Ironically enough, there's only 4 teams in that tournament. As Macy grounds back out to the pitcher, 1-3 on the putout.
Well, right now, Madisonburg doing a lot of good things. The biggest thing is she's throwing strikes. We talked about this with Carlin Burke yesterday. You throw strikes, you mix your pitches in and out. And the Indians, unfortunately, so far have not really hit anything all that hard. A couple of ground balls back to Berg herself. And then you get that lazy fly ball that Lofton runs down. Now you got to get something started with 2 outs in this inning.
That pitch looks like a miss for a ball. This is Bailey Springfield, the shortstop at the plate. You got to figure she is going to be one of those when she has the opportunity, when she's in the bullpen or in the dugout, to be trying to get loose in case she is needed here in the first game of the day. As that pitch missing up for a ball. 2-0 now is the count here to Springfield.
She's hitting .299 on the year, couple home runs, 21 RBIs, and you're right about that simply because it's a situation where...
All right, so they call that an illegal pitch again. So they're going to come down and explain the illegal pitch to the coach, and just very, very unusual to see that called twice in a tournament you haven't seen called all year or all tournament, but this is the first time we are seeing this pitcher.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too, is that I don't know if it's something she's doing specifically or these umpires just have been tipped off to it or they're just strictly looking at it, but odd you would see it called in the championship game when it hasn't been called all weekend.
And that pitch missing low there. 3-0 now is the count. Now, if you're Berg, I mean, you got to keep that in your mind. So does that throw your rhythm off? Does that throw your concentration off? Or you just don't want to keep? That's the second time she's been called for it.
It's something to think about, and I think the second time part is the key. The first time it certainly didn't bother her; she was fine. But the second time, now it may start to linger a little bit.
And a late strike call as Springfield went, stopped, went, and then strike was called.
Yeah, I don't.
It looked like a strike.
It did, but you got to have some conviction if you're a home plate umpire at that point. And we figure if Bailey will probably be either in this game or certainly would start game 2 if we get that far.
So 3-1 is the count. Springfield looks at that one, and second time he's called it that way, and a little funky on the call. So good job, though, by Berg to battle back and force the count full.
Yeah, Bailey was taken all the way, no doubt. Now anything close you got to protect. She's pitched away a lot.
Springfield hits one. It's going to, oh, nice stop by the shortstop, but it's going to go for a base hit.
Taylor Murray, the shortstop. We've seen some outstanding shortstop play in this tournament. You knew once it got past Emily Robinson, Bailey was going to be safe at first. The only question was, would it go into left field or would Murray be able to stop it? And she made a great stop. And if you're in, it's the quality at bat. You work the count full. You get a base hit out of it. You just have to kind of build on that, try to put some quality at bats together. So get something started with 2 outs.
And now up is going to be Hannah Williams, the left fielder. Goes to that first pitch across for a strike. For the Indians, they need production out of the bottom part of the lineup today as well. That way they can get back around to the top part where they have been successful making contact with the ball and try to get some people in some scoring positions.
Yeah, if you're thinking about it, Bailey's 2 for 3 in stolen bases this season. Indians are 142 for 155. As we talked about, both of these teams like to run a lot, maybe not with Bailey. You don't see it. Perhaps you could get a hit and run if you get into a hitter's count here in the bottom, maybe a 3-1 type count. Obviously 3-2 should be going anyway. But chance to put another quality at bat together. You should want to get the top of the order up as many times as you can.
So the 1-1 pitch is fouled back out of play. 1-2 now is the count here on Williams. If Williams were to reach it, it'll be Olivia Burns up next. And Jeremy, we talked about it. That's kind of been the story of the entire tournament. 2-out hitting has been huge for teams that have been successful.
It has. ICC got a lot of them last night, that 5-run fourth. The Indians got 4 of those 5 runs with 2 outs. Looking for a little magic here. Jones got a 2-out home run in the top of the inning. So you got to have that. Tournament time, you're going to try and win a national championship.
So that pitch missing low and outside, evens the count now at 2-2. Amanda Newsom checking in on Twitter. Shelby's parents are watching from Cleveland, Mississippi. In on this afternoon, and we understand with the weather Saturday there's a lot of people that couldn't make it out to the ballpark because unfortunately we all got to work and pay bills. And that pitch missing low and outside. 3-2 now goes the count. Good eye that time by Williams to force the count full.
Well, now you're going to get Bailey on the pitch, and so if you're Hannah Williams, anything close, you hack and foul away. If you're Bird, you don't want to walk her, so you almost got to feel like you got to come with something. You not necessarily give in, but certainly got to throw a pitch that you think will be a strike.
So the 3-2 offering here. Runner goes. Ball is popped up, and it's going to go in foul territory. Oh, in and out of the glove of the left fielder. What an effort out there in left field by McKinney. Just couldn't come up with it. A big-time break there for the Indians.
Off the bat, I thought there was no way that ball was going to be caught at all by Simone McKinney. And all of a sudden, she kept getting closer to it, and almost came up with a spectacular catch. Both of these teams so good defensively. We've seen some stellar outfield play already. That was almost a phenomenal catch to end the inning.
So now the count stays at 3-2. Runner at first. This one's lifted. Left fielder's going to jog around and squeeze it for the putout. So a big time out there to get out of the inning with no damage done. A runner on first. And Jones does a good job, Jeremy, of just managing the game and not panicking and taking care of business there.
Yeah, Madison Bird gives up that 2-out single, but comes back even though it was a 3-2 count. Got a pitch in the zone, and unfortunately, Hannah Williams hit it hard, but just right to Simone McKinney.
1-0. Jones will move to the bottom of the second right after this.
So you took Little Caesar's Extra Most Bestest pizza that has the most cheese and pepperoni at the nation's best price, and then stuffed more cheese into the crust?
Yep, it's got 3 feet of cheese stuffed in the crust.
Huh.
Added more cheese to the pizza with the most cheese. They added more cheese to the pizza with the most cheese. They added more cheese to their pizza with
Poor
the
guy.
most cheese.
Couldn't wrap his mind around all that cheese.
They added.
Got a large Little Caesar's Extra Most Bestest stuffed crust pepperoni pizza for $9.
Pizza.
Hey, my name is Aaron, and I'm in Asia Pacific University right now, which is in Beppu, Japan. Now, I never would have got here if I wasn't from ICC, which is the gateway to the world.
Need money now? Get a choice pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy bringing us this action here. Game 1 of a possible 2 games this afternoon here in Fulton for the MACJC Tournament Championship. 1-0 is your scores. We head to the bottom of the second inning for Jones. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters due up. Donald, Sykes, and Denton for the Bobcats.
Well, now if you're Olivia Burns, certainly don't want to put a lot of pressure on yourself, but you got to end up making sure that you toss some good pitches in there and keep this Jones team at 0. It's easier said than done, but can't let them just get a roll and start to build a little bit of a lead.
Donald is the DP, takes that pitch low for a ball. Sees former ICC softball coach, now housing director, Chad Cates, out enjoying this game this afternoon in right field. Finals week, so not a lot of students on campus. Some people are going to try to break away and come watch the game. I know a lot of people watching on campus here on Let's Go ICC TV. Want to give a shout out to that ICC family as that pitch missing outside for ball 2.
Hallie Donald hitting .365 on the season, 8 home runs, now 3rd on the team after that solo shot from Emily Robinson. 33 RBIs.
That pitch right now Broadway, 2-1 now goes the count here to Donald. Now, of course, she was the one that had the lucky, well, I wouldn't say lucky, she hit the ball. Just an unfortunate play for East Central when the ball bounced out of the glove of the girl that could have robbed the home run. Could have totally changed the outcome of this tournament, or the way the tournament actually played out from there.
Yeah, Jones is struggling. They were really in desperate need of something good to happen, needed a big hit, and they got it. And it just happens to be that way when you got an elite program. They tend to just have somebody come up in the clutch, and Donald was that person that night.
2-2 now is the count. Nobody on. Leadoff batter in the inning, and that pitch just missing inside. 3-2 now is the count.
I like that pitch a lot from Olivia Burns. That's a good pitch. It's a better take by Donald, but that's a good pitch. You can't have the Jones hitters basically eliminate a portion of the plate. You got to be able to mix it in. I like that pitch a lot. I think she can come back to it.
So the 3-2 pitch coming. Fouled off, out of play, and we'll stay at 3-2. Man, we have seen a lot of good battles deep into the pitch count. Both these teams, all 4 of these teams all week, have done a good job of making contact, extending at bats with 2 strikes on them.
Well, the 2-strike hitting is, and your 2-strike approach is different than other portions of the strike zone, and got to make sure you just foul pitches off.
This pitch popped a mile high. Conley drifting back. Will she have enough room? No, the ball just drifted back on her, and she was kind of looking back into that sun, and yellow ball, yellow sun, easy to lose.
Yeah, she didn't look like she had a real good beat on that off the bat. My first thought was it was going to end up hitting the net right in front of us, and I think she thought that too, and perhaps may have let her guard down just a little bit, and the next thing you know, it comes back and she's out of position. So a break there for Jones, but Burns still has another chance to get the all-important first out.
Changeup falls off the table too soon and turns into a walk. So a leadoff walk was issued to Donald, and now up is going to be the first baseman, Sykes.
Well, that's what this Jones team can do to you. Quality at bats. They don't swing and miss, don't strike out a whole lot. They frustrate you as a pitcher. You're up there and you're constantly making good pitches with 2 strikes, and they're able to just serve it.
Number 24.
No more than just putting it in the net somewhere, but that pop-up really hurts ICC. You've got to make those kinds of plays. You can't give Jones extra opportunities or they're going to really hurt you.
So a runner on first with no outs. Sykes, the first baseman, batting in that 6th spot. We'll get her first at bat of the day. 1-0 is your score. That pitch missing low.
McKenna Sykes, .375 average, 4 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Another one that really controls the bat well. 22 walks to 11 strikeouts this year. She's one of the more patient hitters, in fact, on this Jones team. They have a lot of walks drawn. It's just they have a lot of at-bats, but they really go up there and hunt the fastball and really like to attack.
Olivia Burns struggling to locate the zone right now. You can kind of see the frustration on her, the way she kind of snatched the ball back after it was thrown to her that way. And right now, if you're Olivia, just deep breath, just find your rhythm.
You got to relax, and easier said than done, but got to find a way to get it in the strike zone.
This pitch lifted back deep to the fence, and there is Corey Childs to make the play. A big-time play there by Corey. And, boy, I tell you what, I thought that one had a chance to get out of here.
Sykes just missed it, too. She had a lot of the barrel but didn't get enough of it, and that one was hit deep. But, again, you see Corey Childs with some really good center field play. Kept her body at a 45-degree angle, didn't turn, didn't have to back up. and she was able to track that ball all the way down, made a nice play right there in the warning track. Really well done. Good fundamentals out there by Corey Childs.
Now up is going to be the catcher, Denton, for Jones with 1 out and a runner on first. Good job by Corey also to get the ball in to keep the runner from advancing on the play as that pitch paints that inside corner for strike 1.
Now Faith Denton raised her average from 319 to 342 after big game yesterday.
Yeah, she has played outstanding this whole tournament. As this is a grounder, and it's going to be over the head of the third baseman. Snap throw over to second, gets away. And now that was just a big opportunity there for Jones. Springfield had the right idea, just rushed the throw as she had to hurry at that time. And that's going to be an error on the Indians.
Yeah, and once it got over the head of Vasquez, I thought Bailey Springfield was going to be fine. She did a good job moving over there. And if she makes a good throw, I think that's going to be an out. But she rushed the throw because the ball was hit deep in the 6 hole. And that's what Jones does. They put some pressure on you. You think you got to hurry up. You can't relax. And just a bad throw. So you get a fielder's choice and then an error on Springfield. And now you've got runners at the corners, only 1 down. And we talked about the need to keep Jones where they are, and it'll be a real tough task right now.
That pitch across for a strike. This is McCleskey, the right fielder, at the plate here for the Bobcats. 1-0 is your score, but Jones knocking on the door. Runners on the corners with 1 out here in the bottom of the second.
McCleskey hitting .351, 4 home runs, 22 runs batted in. She's a strikeout victim, though. More Ks than walks this year.
Waited on it that time, and that's going to get past the infield. That was in. 1 run will score. They're going to ask 2 to score, but they're going to hold her at third, and that was a big-time clutch hit there for Jones.
Well, that's a case where you throw the numbers out. I mean, we talked about how good she is at the plate. She was susceptible to maybe a little bit more swing and miss, but she did a great job recognizing all speed right out of the hands of Olivia Burns, a mistake pitch, and she hammered that down the left field line. And that error comes back to haunt ICC. Now 1 run's already in. You've got 2 in scoring position as you get to the very bottom of that lineup. But Olivia right now has lost a little bit of command. She's falling behind a lot of these hitters too. And when you do that and they really sit dead red, it can really hurt you.
So another run is across. 2-0 now is the score. That pitch across for a strike. And as Jeremy mentioned, runners on second and third with only 1 out in the inning. And I tell you what, this is a big opportunity here for Jones, but ICC's got to find that second out.
Yeah, they do. Simone McKinney hitting .420. Not exactly struggling this season as Simone. And
well, it's pretty much 1 through 9.
Right. And so if you're Olivia, you see a couple of pitches on the outside, trying to get her to shoot the ball to the left side of the infield so they can have a better shot at cutting down that run at third, which is Faith Denton. Infield in, though, and they're also pretty shallow in the outfield.
That pitch finds that outside corner for strike 2. 1-2 now is the count.
And now, if you're Olivia, you've got to get a strikeout. You need her to prevent her from putting the ball in play, get that second out, and then try to pitch again. You can't let her put it in play.
1-2, couldn't get her to go fishing on a nice afternoon here in Fulton, and she watched that one low and outside. 2-2 now is the count.
And you've got Macy Cox, the first baseman, who is about 2 feet maybe outside the circle. And Madison College, who plays second base, is basically over there almost at first base.
This pitch popped up. It's going to get out of play into the stands, and see a nice crowd out this afternoon. Jones having a good crowd turnout as well. We do want to go ahead and remind everybody that next week will be the Region 23 tournament here at ICC. That weekend will also be graduation weekend here on campus, Friday, Saturday. So you want to make some extra plans if you're coming to campus to kind of give yourself a little extra time to find parking and things like that for next week's Regions tournament. Ooh, good looking pitch there. Missing 3-2 now is the count.
It's a really good take by McKinney. I think that pitch is a little bit up and out. Not a bad idea for Olivia, but everything's been away. Just trying to get her to shoot it to the left side. But ahead in the count 1-2 now. Count runs full.
This ball's popped up, and it's going to be in the hands of the left fielder. Now they're going to try to tag it in, and just a little hesitation that time allowed the run to score.
That's a really good at-bat by Simone McKinney. Got down to the count 1-2. Looked like Olivia had the advantage. She's able to foul some pitches off, lay off some pitches outside, then gets that 3-2 fastball away and just shoots it into the air, into the outfield, and Hannah Williams just couldn't quite get it out of her glove. I'm not sure even if she gets it out and gets it in, they're going to be able to get Faith Denton. But the error costs them 1 run, moves up the runners. And now you get another run in, and all of a sudden at 3-0 lead, you still got another run out there at scoring position, and the top of the order's coming back up through the second time.
This is going to be Lofton at the plate. This is that pitch low for a ball. Hey, we got somebody else tuning in. Dr. Buddy Collins. He doesn't like me calling him Dr. Buddy Collins, but he can't say anything to me about it, so I'm going to call him Dr. Buddy Collins as much as I can right now.
Certainly can't say to your face right now.
He can find me, though. We do appreciate Buddy Collins tuning in here, watching the ball game, and I know he's cheering for the Indians. Says, "Oh, good-looking pitch there." And Jeremy, you and I both. You pointed calling it a strike.
Thought that was in there.
The changeup falls off the table just a bit too soon. So 2-0 is the count, and that pitch up high for a ball. 3-0 now is the count. Now the question is, with ICC's back against the wall, Olivia Burns kind of struggling to find the zone. How long of a leash do you give her?
Well, that's a good question. Nobody's warming up. You would figure it would be Bailey Springfield who would come in. Well, she's obviously at shortstop, but I think you certainly hope Olivia can get out of this one, maybe see what you do offensively. Second time through the order is what we're fixing to get from Jones, and maybe you give Olivia one more inning to see if she can get through it. If not, I think you go to Bailey and you just hope at that point she can shut it down and the Indians can find some offense.
So 3-1 is the count. Runner on second. There's only one out in the inning. And there's ball four. That pitch up high and inside, and now Lofton is on. Well, Jones doing an excellent job right now, being patient,
14,
recognizing that Burns is
Murray.
kind of struggling to locate now. And so just kind of stay the course. So ICC looking for that final out. There's 2 outs in the inning. And time is called here, so I do apologize. I was looking at the scoreboard. It only said there was 1 out, but there is 2 outs in the inning after that sacrifice fly by McKinney.
And you look now, second time through the order, and this is what we talked about, Taylor Murray, Emily Robinson. Between them now, 19 home runs on the year, well over 100 RBIs. They both have close to 60. Matter of fact, Murray holds a 1 RBI lead over Emily Robinson after that solo shot from Robinson in the first inning.
So that 0-1 pitch inside, blocked up nicely like it might have got away, judging by the umpire's reaction, as it now goes 1-1. Murray flew out to left on a line drive, a little, wouldn't call it a leaping catch, but a hopping catch by Williams back in the first inning.
It was barreled up. She absolutely got a lot of it.
And this one jammed her, but it's going to drop for a base hit. Are they going to ask the run to score? Yes, they are. The throw is going to be cut off. And Jones taking care of business here in the bottom of the second.
Well, this is kind of what we talked about with this lineup and just how dynamic they are. It's base hit after base hit, and I'm not sure at this point how much longer you can stick with Olivia Burns. The pitch middle in, got just enough of it out there. Hannah Williams couldn't really do too much, just glove it and get it back in, and I think this is going to be it for Olivia.
Coach Andy Kirk going to come out and talk to her right now. We're going to take a break and be back with more. Jones is rolling, 2 outs in the inning. They lead it 4-0 here in the bottom of the second.
So you took Little Caesar's Extra Most Bestest pizza that has the most cheese and pepperoni at the nation's best price and then stuffed more cheese into the crust?
Yep, it's got 3 feet of cheese stuffed in the crust.
Huh.
Added more cheese to the pizza with the most cheese. They added more cheese to the pizza with the most cheese. They added more cheese to their pizza with
Poor
the
guy.
most cheese.
Couldn't wrap his mind around all that cheese.
They added.
Got a large Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest stuffed crust pepperoni pizza for $9.
Pizza.
And welcome back. No change made here for the Indians. Going to stay with Burns with 2 outs in the inning. And here comes trouble in Emily Robinson. Last time she was at bat, she just destroyed a pitch that was hung over the plate for a home run. And that changeup falls off the table a bit too soon. Out of the timeout, getting a message for former ICC softball player Ashley Kemp tuning in this afternoon here on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Outfield pretty straight away.
1-0 is the count. Changeup hangs up for a ball, 2-0 now.
She's trying to pitch backwards and just get a pitch over for a called strike, hoping that she'll take it. But you fall behind. You can't locate, get those pitches in. Now you're behind 2-0, and you got to be sitting dead red fastball here.
And that's what she comes with. Paints that outside corner for a strike. 2-1 now is the count. Indians looking for the exit. Trying to find that final out of the inning. And once again, we talked about it, coming up with 2 out hits. Scoring runs with 2 outs have been big throughout this tournament. Jones doing it here. That changeup just can't locate it. Hangs up high. 3-1 now is the count.
And you're a pitch away from walking the bases loaded. The lineup doesn't get any easier. And if you're Emily Robinson, I think you're sitting again. Fastball down the middle is not there, you can take.
And there's ball 4. Bases are loaded, and the Indians walk the bases loaded now, and this is going to bring up Venable with 2 outs in the inning and nowhere to put her. So we'll see if, I don't like they're going to make a move here. I actually do have what looks to be maybe Mackenzie Toombs getting loose in the bullpen right now. Boy, I tell you what, the Indians have got to get out of this inning with no damage done. That pitch in the dirt, nicely done by Conley to block that one up.
Well, and Olivia's just struggling. I mean, she can't get strike 1. I mean, you're behind, you're falling behind, and then you know this team can hit, and then that starts to creep into your mind that you have to be perfect. And right now it's just really, really hard for her to get it in the strike zone, and that's a pitch right there that maybe a little bit upstairs. That if she's pitching better, perhaps she gets that call. But if you're struggling, home plate umpires are not going to reward you if it's a borderline call.
So 2-0 now is the count. Nowhere to put Venable. She popped up to second to end the first. The Indians would love to see her repeat that performance here. 2-0 pitch. Waiting on it. Ground ball. Second baseman gets it. Tosses it over for the putout. And the Indians get out of the inning, but not before the damage was done by Jones. They score 3 runs. Take a 4-0 lead. ICC's got to find their bats. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
Today, you are connected more than ever. Your friends, your family, your life. Having a partner that understands banking is what you do on your time, anywhere you like. It's about being connected, which is easy with convenient locations in your community. Understanding that sometimes you need to speak to real people with real answers. Banking partners with the services you desire, who understand how you want to bank. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
At Food Giant, serving you is our #1 priority. We offer the freshest produce, highest quality meats, tasty baked goods, and the best meats and cheeses in our deli department. At Food Giant, you'll always find a staff member eager to help you find exactly what you need. Freshness, variety, value. Shop Food Giant today with several locations in North Mississippi.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As we move now to the top of the 3rd inning, ICC trailing 4-0. It's going to be the 8-9-1 batters due up here for the Indians. Olivia Burns, Madison Carnes, and Corey Childs. And Jeremy has got to start now for the Indians. They only got 1 hit so far in the contest. Nothing to show for it. And Burns will lead things off here.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is that Jones is already halfway through the lineup, second time through. ICC still get 8 and 9 before you get Childs back up, which is the top of the order. You got to string Tim and Bass together. We've seen a couple of batters do that. Certainly Bailey Springfield did a good job with that, but other than that, nobody else has been able to really take the count deep, get something hard hit off of Mattisburg. And they're going to have to really start to do that to climb back in this one.
Swung on a miss for strike one, and I think right now it's more of a confidence issue for the Indians than anything.
Yeah, Olivia hitting .333 on the year, no home runs, 16 runs batted in, and you get beat 6-0 by this team a couple of days ago, or yesterday I should say, and now you're down 4-0 after 2 innings.
And Burns takes a healthy chop at that one, misses it as well, and quickly behind in the count 0-2.
And you knew Jones was going to be motivated yesterday. Indians swept them this year, and they're coming to ICC, playing a state tournament. They were terrific. But today, Jones just looks like the more aggressive team, the more confident team, and ICC looks a team that's a little bit more timid out there.
That pitch missing outside for a ball. 1-2 now is the count. Steve Diffie checking in from Holmes. Shout out to Diffie. Everybody just texting in wanting the free shout outs. Hashtag free shout out.
Yeah. Well, when you're willing to give them one, why not?
1-2 is the count here to Olivia Burns, leading us off here in the top of the third. Looks at that pitch low. Good eye that time. He was at the count at 2-2.
And that's what you have to do, especially if you're Olivia. You say, look, I know what frustrates me. I'm going to try to do the same thing to Madison Berg. I'm going to try to go up there and foul off some pitches, make her throw 6-7 pitches to the at-bat, and then see if you can either coax a walk or get a mistake pitch and hammer it in the outfield.
Pitch coming. Swung on and missed for strike 3.
Well, Madison Berg was having none of that. Pitch got her to swing and miss 3 times, low and away on that outside corner, and Olivia just couldn't lay off of it. And Madison Berg right now dealing almost the first time through the lineup.
First Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for either team. And so now this is going to bring Madison Carnes, the sophomore out of Ecru, actually Hurricane, but she claims Ecru, much like Olivia out of Coffeyville claiming Grenada. That pitch missing inside for a ball.
I've never heard of that. Ecru, yeah.
Yes, yeah. Hurricane's just right down the road.
Little community,
yeah,
maybe?
Yeah.
Never heard of that before.
Had some awesome basketball teams. As this pitch lifted out to right field, right fielder's going to jog back a few steps and squeeze it for out number 2.
Well, Madison's gotten a hold of the ball last couple of days. Had a couple of really hard hit balls last night against East Central. Had a double that one hopped the wall. Got a good barrel on that one. Unfortunately, just shot that one right out there to the right fielder, Gracie McCleskey. And now you're finally back to the top of the order, but there's 2 outs and nobody on base.
This is going to be Corey Childs at the plate, and Corey takes that first pitch, missing low for a ball. 1-0 now is a count. 2 outs, nobody on here for the Indians. They're trailing 4-0. We're in the top of the third. Game 1 of a possible 2 games this afternoon. Of course, ICC's got to win this first game to force the second. That pitch right down Broadway, even to the count now at 1-1.
She's just doing a good job mixing a lot of pitches. She's got better command, quite frankly, right now than Olivia does. And you're able to throw strike 1, not fall behind a lot. You put some pressure on those hitters.
So the 1-1 pitch coming, and Childs fouls that one off for strike 2.
It had some real velocity. You could hear Madison Berg as she let that pitch go, and Childs just couldn't catch up to it, foul tipped it. Now she's got to really battle here. Change her approach with 2 strikes.
So 1-2 now is the count, 2 outs. This pitch fouled back out of play, keeping that at-bat alive here for Corey Childs. Corey trying to extend this inning here, find a 2-out hit. The Indians with only 1 hit so far in the contest. You got to go back to the second inning to find it, and that was off a 2-out single by Springfield.
And Bailey is one of the 2 right now, along with Macy Cox warming up in the Indians bullpen down there.
1-2 pitch coming. Ooh, that one just up. Tough one to take that time, but a good eye by Corey Childs.
And boy, did Madison Berg want that one. She thought she had just gotten strike 3, was looking forward to getting back into the dugout. Good job by Corey Childs, though. Pitch was a little bit up. I think if Corey were a couple inches taller, that might have been strike 3.
So waiting the 2-2 pitch here. And that one up high, and now the count goes 3-2. Good job by Corey. Stretching this at-bat out, trying to find a way to get on here.
This is the quality at-bat we're talking about. Now you got to win this pitch. Jones did this to Olivia Burns. They would get her to 3-2, get her to 2-2, and then they would win that 2-strike pitch. That's what Childs has got to do here. She's got to win this one. ICC's got to start stringing these together.
So the 3-2 offering coming. And there's strike 3. Good job painting that outside corner. You take a look at it right there on the Little Caesars instant replay. Ate up that outside corner for strike 3.
Just too close to take if you're Childs. Really good pitch by Berg. Jones wins another big-time pitch.
We're going to take a break and be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Well, my name is Alyssa Lipsy, and I really enjoyed coming here because I was financially stable. That was the biggest thing. And then I was close to home, so I wasn't too far from my family. I was in Pontotoc County, so I had that guaranteed tuition. But they offer so many more scholarships. Like there's ACT scholarships. I had gotten one because I had a high enough ACT. I was involved in Indian delegation, so that gave me a scholarship. And when I came to ICC, I had support from beginning to end, before orientation up until graduation. It was amazing. I just had that one-on-one with everyone I was involved with and everything I did. And I don't know, it just made me a better Alyssa coming here. I go to Ole Miss without paying a dime out of my pocket just because all the stuff I did here at ICC and all the stuff I got involved in and making connections with my teachers as well as the students that were here and just being open-minded to change. And I mean, I'm not having to owe anybody any money to go to school, so that's pretty amazing. And ICC was able to do that for me in the long run.
Need money now? Get a choice pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
Bailey Springfield.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have some choice pawn position changes coming your way here for the Indians. And let's go ahead and give those to you now. The new pitcher for the Indians is going to be Bailey Springfield. So Springfield will take over for Olivia Burns here. Olivia Burns will go to third and take over for Joanna Vasquez. And Vasquez will move to short to take over for Bailey Springfield. So that's your choice pawn position changes for the Indians here in the bottom of the third.
Numbers on Bailey Springfield, 20-3. Now more wins than anybody in program history in one season. She does have one save, 3 complete games, 140 innings pitched, 115 hits, 46 runs, 27 earned, 37 walks, 117 strikeouts, 5 strikeouts per 7. She has given up 5 home runs this year and now has a 1.35 ERA. Indians with a 1.68 ERA as a team. It's going to balloon a little bit after having faced this Jones team again as they try to add to their lead. Bailey's got to keep the Indians, keep Jones at 4 to keep ICC in this.
That first pitch across for a strike on the inside corner. 5, 6, 7 batters due up here for Jones. It's going to be Donald, Seitz, and Denton. So 0-1 is the count here to Donald. Swing on and miss, couldn't catch up with the fastball. 0-2 now is the count. This is a different looking Bailey Springfield, what we saw last night.
Boy, I was just about to say, Friday and last night, she didn't look comfortable. She didn't like she was in it. She got frustrated a lot. And 3 pitches in, she's hit her spot on all 3 pitches. Looks like there's a little more velocity in some of those pitches as well. And if she's really good, she can certainly keep this team in it.
So 1-2 now is the count here to Donald. That pitch inside and a little 2 inside. 2-2 now is the count.
But you have to work both sides of the count. I mean, that's the one thing that I think some of these pitchers in this tournament have been too focused on pitching to the outside, so hitters can basically just eliminate. And eliminate part of the plate certainly makes you a better hitter.
So the 2-2 pitch coming here from Springfield. And fouled off, and we'll do it all over again. That was a late swing. I'm surprised she even found a piece of the ball on that one.
Yeah, it pitched inside. A little bit low, jammed her just a bit.
See Jim Holder of WTVA out there in center field shooting some highlights of today's contest. You can see those later this evening on WTVA. Appreciate Jim and everything he does for us here at the college. Change up, ground ball, second baseman hops on her. And that's going to go for an error. Just one of those funky hops. We've seen a lot of those in this tournament, and unfortunate there for Madison Carnes, what looked to be a routine play. Ball just bounced into her stomach.
Yeah, that's what's disappointing too. Is that's a really good pitch by Bailey Springfield. She got Hallie Donald to chase a pitch out of the zone. It's supposed to be out number 1. Madison's been good out there at second base. You're right. She allowed the ball to play her a little bit though, and sat back and waited on it. And as long as she did, took that funky hop and Another error on the Indians, and you just cannot give Jones a second out.
Jones, number 9.
We got a runner coming in. This is going to be Hasty coming in. Nadlin Hasty coming in to run for Jones County in this situation. 4-0 is the score. A error puts the lead runner on here in Donald. Now Hasty's going to come in to run in this situation. And now this is going to bring up Sykes. Sykes flew out on a nice play in center field by Corey Childs. That pitch missing low for a ball. Never good when you see the home plate umpire come up and wipe his eyes after he calls a ball. Don't mind seeing it if you're ICC on a strike call. So 1-0 is the count. No outs and a runner on first. Fly ball, center field, deep, and there's Corey Childs a few steps in front of the warning track, able to go back and get that one for the putout.
So another really good job by Childs to go back, keep her body parallel, not backtracking at all, and able to reach up there and catch the ball. Just when you have a center fielder like that who can really patrol the outfield, it just does so much for you. Indians are good in the corner outfields as well, but she makes that outfield much better by her play out there in center.
Yeah, that's why Miami of Ohio has shown a lot of interest in the sophomore this year. But of course, she's got a couple options, but she is incredibly smart. Has earned just about every accounting award the college has to offer this season, and so she's either going to decide to keep playing ball or focus on her career as a non-student athlete. Is that pitch on the inside for a strike? 1-1 now is the count.
Well, and Faith Denton, the catcher right now for Jones, had a terrific tournament. Scored one of those runs earlier. I like that pitch on the inside corner, though.
So the 1-1 pitch coming. Runner goes. Throw down is in time. Beautiful. Take a look at that again on the Little Caesars instant replay.
Well, Nadlin Hasty now 4 for 7 after that caught stealing. Samantha Conley with a great throw down to second base, so that wipes out the error. And now you're a pitch away from getting out of this inning, giving up absolutely nothing, and that's got to be the recipe for the Indians the rest of this game.
So the count. Scoreboard showing 1-1. And that pitch outside for a ball. Good looking pitch there. Just couldn't quite get that corner as it was a little low.
3-1.
3-1 now is the count. So waiting the 3-1 offering here. This one drilled but way foul. Out towards the parking lot.
Well, there's early and there's that swing.
Yeah.
I mean, she knew what she was going to get, but just could not wait on it long enough.
So now the count goes full at 3-2 here to Denton, the catcher. She reached on a fielder's choice error in her last at bat. Eventually opened the door for a 3-run bottom of the second. Ground ball, second baseman gets it clean, throws over in time for the putout. Score that 4-3 for those of you scoring at home to end the inning. And Jeremy, we'll keep it here. Big inning there, as you said, getting that goose egg on the board.
It was huge, and Bailey looked a little bit more like what we've seen of her this season. She was able to hit her spots and locate really well. You know, Madison Carnes had that tough bounce that caused the error, but then Sam Conley is able to wipe away that going to second base, and then after that, you get Bailey. She gives up a deep fly ball to center that Corey Childs made a routine play, and then she got a couple of ground balls to second base. I mean, that's exactly what you need if you're going to end up keeping this thing at 4-0, giving yourselves a chance.
ICC's got to get the bats fired up. We'll see if they can do that at the top of the fourth. Back with more right after this.
This broadcast on Let'sGoICCTV.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
Hi, I'm Jada Standifer. I am ICC's Most Beautiful 2018, and you're watching Let's Go ICC TV.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 4-0 is your score as we get set to move to the top of the fourth inning for ICC to be the 2-3-4 batters to up. Meg Sullivan, Samantha Conley, and Mackenzie Piper. All those are 0 from 1 of the day. Sullivan grounded out to the pitcher to start for the second out of the first inning. Adam Gore, Jeremy Kennedy bring you this action. The first of a possible 2 games, but ICC, Jeremy got a little bit of momentum in that inning. See if they can kind of carry that momentum over to the plate.
Yeah, they had some quality at bats in that last inning as well. Madison Carnes had a good at bat. You know, you look down there at the very bottom, a little Olivia Burns pushed a little bit. Corey Childs obviously got 3-2. Got a couple of foul balls, but unfortunately struck out looking. And so now you're 2-3-4, second time through the lineup. You got to get something started here with Meg Sullivan and her .419 batting average. If you don't get anything through this time, then maybe Madison Berg starts to become a little more confident, which that's scary in and of itself.
Yeah.
And the ICC lineup becomes a little less confident, and that's a recipe for disaster.
Well, Berg continues to fill up the strike zone. That first pitch across on the outside corner for a strike. And Andy talked about it after the game as well. You know, the difference in going for those outside corners when you got it up or down. ICC working a little too low in the zone on those outside corners to be able to get that call consistently. There's going to be a flare over to second base. Scoops it up, tosses it over for the putout for out number 1. And Jeremy, right now, everything going the way of Berg and the Bobcats defensively.
Yeah, the Indians just can't string any hits together, and that's a real credit to Madison Berg. I mean, she's kept them off balance all day. A lot of velocity in there as well. And then when you mix those pitches to each side of the plate, she'll go outside of the lefties. She'll come inside as well. You keep the hitters guessing, and obviously makes you a lot more apt to get some outs if you're inside that circle.
So that pitch across for a strike. 0-1 is the count. And this is going to be a flare out of play. 0-2 now is the count. Well, I know the tallest viewer watching right now out in Texas, Mark Easley, out there with the Jones tennis teams. We do want to wish them the best of luck out there in the national tournament. You never met Mark?
I have not.
He's like 12 foot tall. Ground ball is going to be a foul ball, and we'll stay at 0-2.
Well, if you are really tall and play tennis,
yeah,
that's also an advantage too.
Play a little basketball. I already wasn't any good though. So 0-2 is the count. There is 1 out in the inning. 4-0 is the score. Pitch well outside that time. Not a bad spot to miss if you couldn't get her to chase one, especially when you get that outside corner painted the way it's been.
Yeah, sometimes you'll just expand the zone, and sometimes it's to see if the umpire will expand with you.
And we've seen it a couple of times.
When you're pitching really well, don't play an umpire sometimes. If you get your spot outside, they'll give you that call.
Ground ball is over to the third baseman. Gloves it cleanly, throws it over for the putout. 5-3.
Everything is low enough that ICC can't get the barrel on it up, but it's not so low that the Indians won't chase. I mean, that pitch right there, that pitch location is about as good as it gets. It's a little bit low and away, but you feel like it's in the zone because it's 2 strikes, and you just get a weak ground ball that's shot to the third baseman. You know, as good as Jones is defensively, I mean, Madison Berg, it's nothing but a bunch of ground outs to her teammates on the infield.
So 2 away now. Piper takes that first pitch across for a strike. Berg continues to do a great job of getting ahead of the batters.
Just pound the strike zone. And ICC, we talked about this a little bit. You may have to start to change your approach and be a little more aggressive and attack those first pitches if she's going to constantly just put it in the strike zone.
That pitch, just missing high and outside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count here to Mackenzie Piper, who flew out to center field in her first at bat to start the second. So 1-1 now is the count with 2 outs. Nobody on here for the Indians. They're trailing 4-0 here to Jones. That pitch missing low. 2-1 now goes the count to Piper. Get a thumbs up from Mark after that comment. So there you go. 2-1 now is the count here to Piper. Swings on this one, a flare out to right field, and it's going to be dropped. What a great effort out there in right field.
McCleskey came on, and I thought, well, if she makes this catch, it's really gonna give you an impression that it's not the day for the Indians. But able to at least keep it in front of her, and that's what, maybe that's what will get ICC started. Mackenzie Piper just flares it out there in the right field. You get one down. It's baby steps at this point, and you just keep getting deeper and deeper in that lineup. You force Berg to throw more pitches.
So now this is going to be the first baseman, Macy Cox, coming to the plate. She grounded out to the pitcher back in the second inning. Takes a look at that first pitch, low for a ball. 2 outs, runner at first. 1-0 is the count here to Macy Cox.
Macy 358 on the year, doesn't have a home run, 18 runs batted in.
Piper over at first after getting that single off a great effort out there in right field. That pitch missing low. Piper's going to go, and she will steal the bag. Oh, and she jammed her ankle on that, and the umpire going to give her time to catch herself. And Jeremy, you and I, we've seen a lot of baseball, a lot of softball over the year, and when you see a player come up kind of gimpy like that after a slide, it's a really scary moment.
It is. It was very awkward, to say the least. That's her ninth stolen base of the year. I thought for a second, like you, that maybe something had happened, but it just looked like she maybe just slid into a big clump of dirt, and it kind of stopped her momentum for a second, but she appears to be all right. And if the Indians hit one in the outfield, I would imagine Coach Kirk's going to give her this green light to head to the plate.
That pitch across for a strike. 2-1 now is the count here to Macy Cox. Ground ball, and it's going to be scooped up by the third baseman. Throw over is in time, and good job getting the ground ball. 5-3 on the putout. And once again, Jones bending but not breaking.
Good pitch again by Berg. Good location. You get a lot of pitches in the zone. Teams will ground out, and defense behind you is giving you some help.
We'll head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Before we do that, we're going to take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors. We'll be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Sonic Nights is the highlight of the summer.
Oh, yeah. There's probably some pretty big names here checking out these half-price floats.
Oh, everyone who's anyone is here tonight. Look, there are those 2 guys.
What are they famous for?
Huh. I think for eating here all the time.
Are we good at eating here or what?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, come on.
For a limited time, get real ice cream slushes, shakes, and floats half price after 8 p.m. during Sonic Nights. This is how you Sonic.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as your score 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Jones with the lead. They had the coin toss before the game. Jones won that. We talked about it in between games yesterday, Jeremy. Just a coin toss, not going the way of Coach Kirk throughout his career. Heck, not going the way of ICC all year.
Right.
ICC lost the coin toss in the tiebreaker in women's basketball as well. So, for ICC, we might be lobbying for a new way to determine home or tiebreakers.
Yeah, take some dollar bills and just float them. Heads, do it that way or something. Draw straws, whatever it is you need to do. But this Jones team just really locked in. I think they came up here to prove a point, and that was it. You know what? ICC got us in the regular season twice, but we're the better team, and they're certainly showing it up to this point. But the Indians, we talked about it, Bailey, can just keep them where they are. This Indians offense is really good. They can certainly hope to get to Madison Purr.
This pitch popped back, and it's going to get out of play for strike one. It's going to be 8-9-1 batters due up here for Jones, McCleskey, McKinney, and Lofton. So for ICC, boy, you got to be really careful here. McCleskey had that RBI double in her first at bat. McKinney a sacrifice fly. So once you get McKinney, Lofton on the bases, you get a lot of speed out there.
You do, and she was able to recognize off speed out of the hand of Olivia Burns and wait on it and then just rip it down that third baseline. And JoJo Vasquez, really good, quick twitch down there, but she didn't have a shot at that one as it was hammered. And that was kind of the blow where you thought, okay, this is trouble time for the Indians, and they ended up getting a couple more runs after that.
1-1 pitch coming outside for a ball. 2-1 now. Goes the count here to McCleskey, the right fielder. Almost made an outstanding play in that last inning to McCleskey.
She did. Came on. It was a ball that was hit by Mackenzie Piper and it was dropping and dropping. And I thought McCleskey had gotten it until she got up and the ball was on the ground. And almost made one of the better catches of the entire tournament. Instead, though, the base hit the Indians, but Madison Berg able to get out of it with no damage done and get her team in the dugout.
That pitch in the inside corner for a strike. 2-2 now is the count here to McCleskey. Boy, the Indians would love to pick up a Renaissance Bank strikeout here to start the inning. Waiting the 2-2 pitch here from Springfield. This pitch fouled back, and once again, such a great job by Jones battling off 2 strike pitches.
Yeah, there's not a strikeout today, I don't recall, of a Jones hitter, and that's just so impressive. And that's one of the ways you become a good hitting team if you just constantly put it in play and you battle and you frustrate pitchers and you get them to make the mistakes, you get them to fall behind, and you can be successful.
So the 2-2 offering once again from Springfield outside for a ball. 3-2 now is the count.
A lot of times you and I have said, okay, 1-2, now you got to be aggressive and go get her, and you look up and it's 3-2, and now the batter's got the advantage, and if you're Betty Springfield, you don't want to walk the leadoff hitter, so this needs to be in the strike zone.
So the 3-2 pitch coming, and she walks her. The ball does get away. And once again, when it rains, it pours, and right now it's just pouring on the Indians.
McCleskey, I talked about, she's one of the few hitters on this Jones team that's sort of upside down in the strikeout to walk category. She has more strikeouts this year than walks. That's now her 11th walk of the year to 14 strikeouts, but she's been on base twice. She's a really fast runner. She's 25 for 25 in stolen bases this year too, so you may get an attempt.
And it's going to be a sacrifice bunt. Only one play, and that's over to first. The snap throw over to second is not in time, so the sacrifice bunt works there. Of course, that sacrifice bunt being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union. They're the oldest organization on campus. They meet Monday nights at 7:07, Wednesdays at lunch. You can follow them on Twitter at ICCBSU.
Well, now you roll it back to the top of the order in Kelsha Lofton, and then behind her, you're going to have Murray and Robinson, 2 best RBI getters on this team, and Bailey's got to be really, really good. Keep this team where they are at 0.
That first pitch across for a strike. There's 1 out in the inning. A runner is at second here for Jones. They lead 4-0. Looking to build on that lead here in the bottom of the 4th. Lofton bunts, pops it up. They're going to get 2? No. Good effort, though, but a nice play over there at first base to get that bunt. And if there's been one thing we can say about this Jones team, and obviously not trying to be negative, but the only negative you can find is not the best bunting team.
No, they're not. And of course, when you hit 360 on the year, you don't practice maybe bunting as much. But yeah, Lofton just really a gift out there for the Indians. And you're Betty Springfield and ICC, you have to take it. Now you got to go, and you got to be able to get Taylor Murray here, keep this game where it is.
That pitch outside corner for a strike. Good job by Bailey. She's doing a good job of attacking the zone and throwing that first pitch for a strike.
Yeah, much better from Bailey today. She looks a little more comfortable, looks a little more confident, looks looser as well. And she's pitched much better today than she has previously in this tournament.
0-1 pitch coming too far outside. 1-1 now is the count. Murray 1 for 2 on the day. She had an RBI single in her previous at-bat. That was part of that 3-run second inning. And so she will dig in here, try to extend the inning with 2 outs. 1-1 is the count. And that pitch across for a strike. So 1-2 now goes the count. 2 outs. Runner on second. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Jones with a 4-0 lead and in the winner's bracket, so they have the advantage here in the day's championship series. Yeah! That pitch missing. 2-2 now is the count. Good discipline by Jones. ICC trying to get him to chase, not doing it.
Not doing it, and everything too. A little predictable sometimes with 2 strikes, get ahead and the pitch is away, and sometimes even a couple of inches off the plate. So you got to mix it up, I think, a little bit sometimes with 2 strikes if you're Bailey Springfield.
So the 2-2 pitch coming. And that one up high. Now the count goes full. Nice job by Murray to battle back and force the count to go full here.
You don't have to worry about really anything on the base paths. I don't think they're going to send McCleskey to third. So you just have to focus on the batter. But you end up walking her here, then you once again find yourself in trouble, and that's where Jones has been really good, is capitalizing when they get runners on base.
This pitch popped up a mile high. Trouble, but the left fielder's going to come over and misses it. 1 run will score on that play there, and that kind of sums up the day for the Indians.
Well, I don't know if Hannah Williams and Corey Childs didn't communicate. You could hear from up here. Somebody said, I got it. That should have been really Hannah's ball, I think. You look on the replay, Childs had to come a long, long way. I mean, Hannah's there.
Yeah, I think Childs didn't make a play for the ball, so.
And Hannah just misjudged it. And that's, we talk about this outfield being pretty good, but, that time, Hannah just didn't get over there and get under it. That ball hung up in the air a long time, and that's just something you can't have, and that's the difference between these two teams right now. Jones is able to make that play. ICC lets it fall, and that's why you've got a game right now that is beginning to become out of reach for the Indians.
And I'm not saying this for the ICC family to kind of look down on me, but it's starting to be just one of those days where it's Jones' day.
Sure. I mean, and you're up 5-0. The Indians have 9 outs left, and they haven't really been able to put any. They haven't gotten 2 people on base at the same time in this game off Madison Berg. And if you're going to get back in this game, if you're going to win a championship, you've got to be able to make those kinds of plays. That's a gift. It's an out that gets you out of the inning. Bailey gets 2 straight zeros up there, and all of a sudden you think, hey, maybe we're not so far away. And it's a third error. You just can't make any against Jones, much less 3, and try to beat them.
Our pitch goes for a ball, and then as a pitcher, you think you're out of the inning, look up and a run on the board instead. So it's kind of tough sledding there. So you got to battle back in this situation. That pitch across for a strike. And 2-2 now is the count. So the Indians trying to find the exit. Jones cashing in. The runner did advance over to second after the error. So waiting the 2-2 offering here from Springfield. That's high and outside. Just a little control issue there. Maybe trying to force it a little too hard that time. Now the count goes full here to Robinson. Robinson had that solo home run back in the first. She walked, was left stranded in the second. Trying to extend the inning here with 2 outs and a runner on second. And she's hit by the pitch. And so she'll take the slow stroll down to first. And once again, Jeremy, we said it earlier, when it rains, it pours. And it's pouring on the Indians, but we got to turn around that same coin and give credit where credit's due. Jones, good teams take advantage of certain situations, and Jones has done that today.
Yeah, they've done it today. They've done it all season. And certainly, if you're Bailey Springfield, it's only human nature to be dwelling on the fact that, man, I should be out of this inning. I made the pitch. And then you lose a little bit of focus. It's another 2-strike count in which Jones is able to win that big pitch. And now, with a run already in, you've got 2 on base. The lineup doesn't get any easier. If you're Bailey, you got to somehow find a way to make a good pitch and get out of this inning.
This will be Venable coming to the plate. She is the number 4 batter, playing second today. Popped up to second to end the first, grounded out to second to end it, and that's going to drop for a hit, and that's probably going to score another one. Yes, it'll score 1. Is it going to score 2? And yes, it will. That's going to be a 2-run double there for Jones.
Well, Venable just shoots this one to the right center field gap, and Childs was playing a little bit too close to left center to come all the way over. I mean, not certainly her fault, just where she was positioned, and Venable's put that beautifully in the gap, and it's 3 runs off of that error. And now you look at it. We talked about it last night. Let's talk about it now. Jones is a run away from picking up a chance to run rule ICC in the 5th inning if they end up getting a chance with it being 7-0.
We're going to take a break as we're going to have another pitching change. Back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
Need money now? Get a Choice Pawn loan on things you already own, like guns, boats, campers, trailers, recreational vehicles, and just about everything else. Get a loan from Choice Pawn in Fulton and Tupelo. Get cash today. ChoicePawn.com.
This broadcast on letsgoicctv.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
The new extra most bestest pizza from Little Caesars is topped with the most cheese and the most pepperoni for the nation's best price. And now for a secret message. Surrender to the toppings. Incredible! Extra most bestest, the most cheese and most pepperoni for just $6.
Pizza, pizza.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A new pitcher in the contest here for the Indians is going to be Macy Cox. Macy will enter to pitch, and it looks like Burns is moving over to first, and I assume, yes, Springfield is to shortstop, and then is Vasquez back to third?
Vasquez is back at third.
So JoJo back to third. That is your Choice Pond position changes here in the bottom of the fourth. Jeremy, you got some Sonic stats on Macy?
Well, for Macy this year, she's been good. Hasn't pitched as many innings, obviously, but 41 innings, 48 hits, 20 runs, 18 earned, 6 walks, 23 strikeouts. She's got a 3.07 ERA. She is 2-2 on the season with a couple of saves.
So those are your Sonic stats here on Macy Cox. She's out of Troy, Tennessee. She's a freshman. 1-2 is the count here, as this is Donald, who is 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Swings on this one, fly ball out to right field. Right fielder's going to come in and make the play, and the Indians finally find the exit. But once again, not before the damage was done by Jones. As they hang another 3 spot on the board, they take a 7-0 lead. We'll take the timeout with them and be back with more right after this on letsgoicctv.com.
The more I studied, the more I looked into it, I realized all the possibilities and all the opportunities that presented itself for me at ICC. Because in high school, I was really involved. So when I got here, I plugged myself in. I got an Indian delegation, SGA, I'm an RA, and now I have more opportunities and a brighter future because of ICC, and I'm greatly thankful for ICC.
This broadcast on letsgoicctv.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
I'm Madison Carnes, and you're watching letsgoicctv.com.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set here for the top of the 5th inning for the ICC Indians. The lineup, it should be coming up this way: Springfield, Williams, and Burns for the Indians. They trail 7-0, and Jeremy, you got to think right now for ICC, not do or die time, but you have got to find a way to scratch across and run here.
Yeah, you do, because you're in danger of being walked off for a state championship in a run rule situation on your home field in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's all Jones needs if you don't get anything across. But we keep talking about this kind of almost baby steps approach and just put some quality at bats together. Well, it's past time that. You've got to go and get some hits and get some runs, or you're going to get embarrassed for the second time in 24 hours. And this is just Jones' team right now is just locked in, and offensively they're taking advantage of the mistakes. They drop a fly ball in left field. It's not just one run; it ends up being a 2-run double after that. And so what should have been another 0 on the Jones ledger is a 3-run inning, and now it's beginning to look like it's an out-of-reach contest.
That pitch missing for a ball. Bailey Springfield at the plate. She did have a single in her only at bat so far in the contest. So right now for ICC, one thing they haven't been able to do all day today was get that lead runner on base. Springfield looks at that one for a ball. 2-0 now is the count. Hannah Williams on deck for the Indians. Well, let's give credit where credit's due. The pitcher for Jones has just been outstanding today.
She's been as good as advertised. This offense for ICC has been really good all year, but now you're in a 3-ball, no-strike count. And, maybe sitting for a long time is throwing her rhythm off just a little bit. And if you're Bailey, I think you take 3-0, and then 3-1, you look for a pitch you can drive into the gap.
So waiting the 3-0 pitch here. And she takes it the whole way that time, and that one just zipped right across for strike one. 3-1 now is the count here on Bailey Springfield. So Bailey's going to, unless she just gets something grooved, you got to figure. And she grounds it to the shortstop, takes a funky hop, but she's able to get it and throws down for the putout. And that's pretty much been the way it is. India's playing atom ball today.
They are, and I thought that was a catch. I didn't think that was a ball that hit. And Taylor Murray did a good job of just coming up with it and throwing over there. But you're right. Look, Bailey Springfield, that's a good at bat. She worked the count to 3-1. She got a pitch she could drive. She just hit it right to Murray at shortstop. And when things are going your way, that's what happens sometimes.
Williams shows bunt, pulls back, takes it for a strike. Olivia Burns is on deck here for the Indians. 0-1 is the count here to Hannah Williams. So Williams awaiting the pitch here. Swings on this one, fouls it off, and now behind the count 0-2. Well, now you're starting to see the Indians be a little bit more aggressive early on in the count.
They have to be. This is a situation where Berg is starting to just really pump pitches in the strike zone. She's done that all day. And so it comes a time where you have to say, okay, look, that's what she's doing. Or second time through, we have to adjust and maybe attack a little bit more early.
Pitch coming well outside that time. Not a bad spot to miss with a throwaway pitch. 1-2 now is the count here to Hannah Williams. She flew out to left to end the second. So trying to pick up her first hit of the day. Indians only 2 hits in the contest. And this is going to be fouled off out of play, and we'll stay at 1-2. Once again, we talked about it. If you're planning to come to next week's Region 23 tournament here at ICC, please remember, nursing pinning will be Friday night here on campus. Graduations will be at 11 and 3 o'clock here on campus, so you may want to give yourself a little extra time to get to campus and find parking as that ball's fouled off. And I will say this too, Jeremy, you're from the Oxford area. Ole Miss graduation going on at the same time. A lot of people may say, well, why are you talking about that? A lot of people stay in the Tupelo area when they can't get hotels in Oxford. So if you haven't booked your room already, you may be a little out of luck. You may have to look for the weekend around that, unfortunately, Columbus type area.
I think you were telling me Jones is going to have to do that next week?
Yeah, I was talking to Chris before the game, and he said Thursday that they're going to have to stay in Columbus because of all the rooms being booked up. There's a grounder, and what a play. But the throw is not in time, and got to give her a hit on that one, but that was just a great effort to even get to the ball.
Boy, if that had been recorded and out, the Indians might have well just walked off the field and said, you know what, boy, there are days that are not your day, and this is just one of them. That was a really well-hit ball, too, that Emily Robinson was able to get.
Here's the thing, the throw was more online. That's an out.
I agree. You're right. I mean, her being able to stop that as quickly as she did gave her a chance to come up, and she tried to throw it from her knees because she didn't think she had enough time to get to her feet and make a strong throw. If she does that, she's probably bang, but you may end up getting a runner. Instead, though, you don't blame her for trying to get the out. And if you're Jones, okay, big deal. It's one base. There's still one out in the inning, and you still trust Madison Purd.
This ball is popped up in foul territory and squeezed by the first baseman. Not a good at-bat that time by Olivia.
Well, they haven't been able to string anything together. As we talked about, they haven't had 2 runners on base in the same inning. And tough to come back from a 7-0 deficit when you can't string anything together.
Haley Reed did enter to run for Hannah Williams in this situation, so it's going to take a 2-out hit here by Madison Carnes to try to get something going for the Indians, as that pitch missing low for a ball. 7-0 is your score. We're in the top of the 5th inning, game 1 of possible 2 Indians got a long way to go to force that second game here in the championship games this afternoon in Fulton. Indians regular season champions. Jones trying to become tournament champions. As that pitch across for a strike. ICC and Jones will be joined by East Central and LSU Eunice in next week's Region 23 tournament right here in Fulton.
Well, you can set your watch by it. LSU Eunice, baseball, softball, they're going to be in it deep in the national championship hunt. They have been good for a long time, like decades long.
Yeah, that is true. Of course, the Eunice baseball team will be hosting the Region 23 tournament. That will be not this next week, but the next. ICC will travel to East Central on Thursday, Friday, in hopes to get to that Region 23 tournament. They'll be playing at East Central. Friday night's game will be, or excuse me, Thursday night games will start at 6 o'clock. Friday's game 2 will be at 2:30. If needed, we'll follow that one there in Decatur. That pitch missing for a ball. 2-2 now is the count.
It's wild, boys. Let's go.
So 2-2 with 2 outs. Haley Reed over at first base, running in place of Hannah Williams. Ground ball, foul ball, and that's just those type hits today have snuck down the line for Jones. Has gone foul for the Indians. And when I say that, I'm not trying to discredit Jones in any imagination. It's just when it's your day, it's your days, and those type of breaks go your way.
It is, but a good at bat by Madison Carnes, another one. She's starting to really put some quality at bats together, hit the ball really hard. Like her approach. The Indians could find 9 approaches like hers. They'd be in better shape.
Runner goes, throw down is not in time, so Boots will steal second. So now she gets into running position. Boy, a base hit could be huge right now for Madison Carnes.
Now she's 10 for 11 stolen bases this year. Told you coming into today, 142 for 155. Indians have a couple of stolen bases, so you can add now 144 on the season. And so much different. This offense can get some people on base and move them around with the steal.
3-2 pitch. She swung and missed. And a big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout to get out of the inning with no damage done. So a big-time strikeout there to end the inning. Runner left, stranded on second for the second time. And that is the 3rd Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day for the Indians. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more right after this on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What's better than waiting in line at the bank? Literally everything. Renaissance Bank's mobile check deposit lets you take care of checks wherever you want. Click on Deposit Check in the Renaissance mobile app. Read and hit Continue on the bottom of the notice page. Sign it. Write your name, account number, and for mobile deposit only on the back. Photograph it, front and back, so we know it's real. Type in the amount, choose the account to deposit into, click Continue, and go on your way. You'll receive an email that is being processed, but hold on to the hard copy until the check clears, and then rip it up and throw it away. So what are you waiting for? Download the Renaissance mobile banking app and make waiting in line a thing of the past. Check, phone, check. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC.
Best tailgate, brisket.
No, real football y pollo asado.
Hoops and wings. Burgers.
7-layer dip.
Hummus.
What?
You need a hot grill and an ice cold Coke.
It's got to be cold.
It's Tailgating 101.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the bottom of the 5th inning. And right now, if you're ICC, you got to get a scoreless inning here. If they push across 1 run, that's your ball game and your tournament here. As Jones leads it 7-0. And it's going to be Sykes to lead us off here. She's 0 for 2 on the day with a pair of fly balls out to center field, and those have been some couple of deep fly balls as well.
Yeah, obviously Childs has been on the run, did a good job to get to both of them, but tall order here for Macy Cox against this really good lineup that has been really locked in, not just today, but really all tournament.
That pitch up outside for a ball. 1-0 now is the count. So it'll be Sykes, Denton, and McCleskey due up here for the Bobcats. 1-0 is the count. That pitch missing low and inside. 2-0 now goes the count. Well, this is one thing that the Indians have kind of hung their hat on all year has been the pitching, but the pitching has just not been here in this. Well, I wouldn't say not been here, just hasn't been consistent throughout the tournament.
Yeah, it's been a bit off, and they could get away with it maybe against Pearl River and against East Central, but you're not going to be able to get away with it against Jones. And there's another example, just a pitch it left up in the zone, hammered to the outfield for a base hit.
And that's going to be a hit, the first of the day for Sykes, and I also believe that's going to be Haley Reed out in left field for the Indians.
She really rolls her hands.
And so we'll have a runner come in this situation.
You watch her hands, she snaps.
And trying to pick up the number, that's going to be number 22.
Number 22, Sarah
Brock.
Sarah Brock coming in to run.
Normal left fielder, at least started in left field yesterday for Jones in the game against ICC.
So that's the only choice pond position change that I see for the Indians in this inning is Haley Reed now playing out in left field. So with the winning run at first, the bunt is going to be laid down. Only one play in, nearly thrown away. Good job by Madison Carnes to dig that one up out of the dirt. So that's going to be a successful sacrifice bunt by Denton. Score that one 1-4 on the putout, and that sacrifice bunt being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union.
Do you get somebody who's hit the ball really well and really hard today? Gracie McCleskey has also got some speed and who has shown at least something uncharacteristic from a stat standpoint is her ability to take pitches and draw a walk.
And that first pitch across for a strike. 0-1 is the count here. She had an RBI double, scored a run in her first at bat, walked, scored a run in her second at bat. Of course, that run was unearned. So 0-1 is the count. Game-ending run is at second, and that pitch across for a strike. 0-2 now is the count here to McCleskey. So Macy trying to pick up her first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the day. Awaiting the 0-2 offering here. Pitch coming outside for a ball. 1-2 now goes the count.
Big gap out there in left center. You see Corey Childs basically playing in right center field. So if McCleskey gets a pitch, maybe it's a mistake, it's down the middle or middle in, and she gets it into that left center field gap, that will pretty much do it.
This pitch fouled back and will stay at 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at second. Represents the mercy rule run here for Jones County in the bottom of the 5th. ICC trying to find 2 outs, see if they can extend this contest. 1-2 pitch coming. This one fouled off, out of play, and will stay once again at 1-2. And my, oh my, Jeremy, sound like a broken record. What a great job Jones does battling with 2 strikes.
Yeah, they just don't miss the ball. I mean, they are able to barrel up a lot. They just foul off a lot of pitches, frustrate you a little bit. Their plate discipline's very good. Everything's been away in this at bat.
There's a shot. Second baseman can't get through, and that could do it. The throw home is not going to be in time, and Jones County wins it. You see the mob at home plate. A walk-off single, and Jones County fans celebrate. The Bobcats have won the 2018 MACJC Tournament Championship in dominant fashion by the final score of 8-0.
Well, it's a pitch. To get kind of an X and O standpoint, the last one I'll give you. It's a pitch right down the middle. It's a 2-strike count, 1-2. And Macy just missed her spot, and a good piece of hitting to go right back up the middle, and you knew when that was hit to the outfield, that was going to be it. And you're right, this was as good and dominant as it absolutely gets, and no question, they came to this tournament on a mission and did their job. They beat ICC 8-0 and 6-0, 2 dominant wins over a team that beat them twice in the regular season.
And that's going to be your final score in this one, 8-0. We're to step away and come back with more of the Renaissance Bank postgame report right here on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
What's better than waiting in line at the bank? Literally everything. Renaissance Bank's mobile check deposit lets you take care of checks wherever you want. Click on Deposit Check in the Renaissance mobile app. Read and hit Continue on the bottom of the notice page. Sign it. Write your name, account number, and for mobile deposit only on the back. Photograph it, front and back, so we know it's real. Type in the amount, choose the account to deposit into, click Continue, and go on your way. You'll receive an email that is being processed, but hold on to the hard copy until the check clears, and then rip it up and throw it away. So what are you waiting for? Download the Renaissance mobile banking app and make waiting in line a thing of the past. Check, phone, check. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
This broadcast on letsgoicctv.com is presented by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Food Giant, the Sonic of Fulton, your Etowah County Farm Bureau agent Joey Cox, the ICC BSU, Bank of Okolona, Legend Sports Grill, the ICC Wesley Foundation, Choice Palm, Kegel Eye Center, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the ICC Alumni Association, and the ICC Foundation.
ICC Lady Indians.
So we're having the trophy presentation here. ICC will receive the runner-up trophy. Now, this was history made for ICC, the first time they had ever played for a state championship in softball, and you want to win it, but it's been a special season for ICC, and they still got another tournament to go.
Yeah, look, I mean, first time in program history they win 40 games. First time they get somebody to win 20 games in the circle, and got a chance to do something big next week.
To the 2018 MACJC state champions, Jones.
And Jones County flying the W and coming out and getting their championship trophy this afternoon, and Jeremy, rightfully so. What an impressive performance by Jones, as Brother Chris let us know, 15 consecutive scoreless innings to win this tournament. And I tell you what, we talked about it a little bit. When you've been there, done that, you kind of have that moxie, and it shined through for Jones in this tournament.
Yeah, you go back and think about Friday, they were in trouble.
Yeah.
They were in real trouble late against East Central, and all of a sudden you get a big 2-run home run by Hallie Donald out there in left field. That changes everything. Carly Perk, she didn't pitch particularly great for her, but they were able to get a win. They were able to move on, and then 2 real dominant wins over ICC where they were locked in, they were focused, and look, they were the best team in the tournament. They may be the best team in the country. We'll find out in the next couple of weeks. And so if you're both of these teams, look, I mean, ICC's got a regular season championship. Jones wins the tournament, and both of these teams are going to be right back here next week. And if you're ICC, you just check it off and say, okay, look, we've got to step up our focus, and we've got to match their intensity, because I don't think they did for 2 days. I think Jones came in here on a mission. They were much more focused and much more determined, I think, than an ICC team that just certainly appeared to not have its best over the last couple of days.
Well, we got to name our Legend Sports Grill Legend of the Game, and I don't think there's any question about this. The pitcher Burge came out, held a good hitting softball team to only 3 hits, scoreless, got the run support, but she was just lights out all day today.
She was, and she did a good job mixing in pitches on both sides. She didn't just live on the outside corner. Then ICC just never could get any quality at bats strung together. Get 1 or 2, but couldn't get anything other than that. A couple of hard hit balls that were hit right to Jones. They're really good defensively, and when you know in the circle that you have a really good defense behind you, it gives you a lot more confidence. You can pitch that way, but she was constantly strike 1, getting ahead 1 and 2, and when you do that, you keep hitters off balance and you begin to frustrate them, and that's what she was able to do.
Let's take a look at some Sonic stats, and let's start with Jones. They improved to 46-3 overall as ICC falls to 41-9 for Lofton. She was 0 for 2 with the walk. Murray was 1 for 3. She had an RBI single. She did reach on an error, scored a run. It was unearned. For Robinson, she hit a home run. It was a solo home run in the first. She walked and also was hit by a pitch. She scored when she was hit by a pitch. Venable was 1 for 3. She had a 2-run double. Donald on the day was 0 for 2. She reached on an error. Her courtesy runner, number 9, Hasty, was caught trying to steal. Sykes was 1 for 3. She had the game, or excuse me, that was number 22 that came in to run for her. That was Sarah Brock, who scored the game-ending run there in the bottom of the 5th. Sykes was 1 for 3. Didn't on the afternoon. She reached on an error and scored a run. Also had a sacrifice bunt, so she was 0 for 2 on the day. Reached on a fielder's choice on that error. McCleskey was 2 for 2. She had an RBI double, and she had that game-winning single to end it there. She also scored 2 runs after she walked. That was back in the 4th. And then McKinney, well, she didn't have an at-bat because she had a sacrifice fly that drove in a run and then a sacrifice bunt that set up 2 more runs there in the 4th inning. Those are your stats for Jones. For ICC, well, Piper was 1 for 2, Springfield was 1 for 2, and Williams was 1 for 3. The rest of the team was 0 for 2. Only 18 at-bats for the Indians, and that's what you call getting it done.
It is, and that's what we talked about, too, with being really dominant in the circle. It's a good hitting team for ICC. The numbers bear that out. They've seen good pitching all year, but you can't get the top of the lineup and Meg Sullivan and Samantha Conley to the plate more than 2 or 3 times in a game, then you're going to end up really struggling because they don't have quite the depth at the bottom of that lineup that a team like Jones has and some of the other teams that are in the top 5 do. And this is just a situation where, if you're ICC, you got to go back to the drawing board, 41-9. You got to relax and hope to come back here next weekend. Look, the great thing is you don't have to travel for tournament play. You get to play right back on your home field. You get to sleep in your bed this entire week, and you get a chance to get back out there and punch a ticket, perhaps, to a national tournament.
And the good thing is next week they won't have the distractions of finals and things like that going on, not making any excuses whatsoever because there is none to make for the performance of Jones today. But that could be a difference maker for this ICC squad. Kind of take a little bit of extra pressure off of them, and now they go into this tournament, which, by the way, will have the number 2 team, number 3 team, number 4 team, number 10 team in the country, all vying for those 2 spots out of this region for that national tournament.
Yeah, and that's something, too, that's going to be really interesting is the competition level. We talk about it inside their own league, the MACJC, and then you get to the region tournament, you add an LSU Eunice, and all of a sudden it just gets magnified a bit. But when you get a chance to just play softball and you get to stay at home, I think that's going to be a big advantage. The question is, can they get Bailey Springfield and Olivia Burns back to where they've been inside the circle? It starts there. I think offensively they can be okay. They've got to get those 2 back to pitching extremely well, and neither one of them was just on their A game throughout this tournament.
Speaking of being on their A game, Jeremy, appreciate you coming in this week to help out with the tournament. Jeremy and I go way back in our TV7 days. He probably won't claim it, but a lot of people say a member of the School of Gore. I never understood why people say that, but I've been blessed throughout my years to work with a lot of great people. Jeremy, appreciate you coming in this week for the tournament.
It was always good, and you get to see a lot of really good softball, and cool to hang out for sure, and hopefully it's as good as we saw next weekend.
8-0 your final. Jones wins the MACJC Tournament Championship. Congratulations to the Bobcats as they win it here in the first game of the day. That's going to do it for our broadcast. Remind you, join us next week as we'll have the Region 23 Tournament here from Fulton. So for Jeremy Kennedy, Austin Blansett, Raphael Henry, Jennifer Hosey, Lee Adams, I'm Adam Gore. We'll see you next time here on Let'sGoICCTV.com.
When I think of potential, I think of a matchstick. When a matchstick reaches its potential, it releases a flame that ignites everything around it. 2018 brings new potential for you and your life at Itawamba Community College, where you are each empowered to do great things. You can be better, accomplish more, and live a life that is above the bar. Your potential is here.